You guys, I decided to make a video because some of you are panicking and some of you are in a state of chronic anxiety. And I want to talk face to face. And so I decided this morning I would do a video outside. My neighbor's blowing her leaves right now. You may be able to hear that. But I wanted to be outside in nature. No makeup, my favorite sweatshirt. I've got my Leslie Note mug. And I want to talk about the catastrophic thoughts you're having. I want to talk about the panic. I know that there are fires in California. And I have friends who are in California who are opening up their windows or looking out of their windows, and they're not able to see. And it's, I'm sure, devastating and terrifying. I live in North Carolina, and for those of you who are on the coast, I know that storms are coming, and that feels terrifying. And politically, what greater metaphor than fires and storms with what we're facing in our country right now? That said, if you've listened to my podcast, I've talked about this before. I talked about this when COVID hit. Go outside. If you're not in California, if you're not in the middle of a storm, I want you to notice and acknowledge what is actually happening in your real life right now. I realize that if you're not in crisis, if you're not in a storm, if you're not experiencing the fires firsthand, that is privilege. And privilege has become a little bit of a dirty word in our culture. I want you to give yourself space to be okay being okay. I want you to give yourself space to notice the world around you, the fresh air, the cool fall air that's coming. If you're not in crisis, putting yourself into a state of crisis, into a state of chronic anxiety, into a state of panic, isn't going to solve any of the crises that are out there. Reposting memes, yelling at people on Facebook, tweeting away, it doesn't help you feel better. It doesn't help you process all of the feelings that we're all experiencing collectively as a culture. So what do? Well, first, we pause, we breathe, we notice our surroundings, and we notice that we're okay. Then you can move forward and decide if you want to take action, if you're able to take action. And that action is going to look different for all of us. I decided to record a video. That's my little bitty contribution this morning. Maybe you donate. Maybe you start to volunteer politically and send out those lovely text messages that we're all getting. We are not as unsafe as our social media feeds make us feel. Now, I want you to be honest. I want you to be aware. I don't want you to be living in denial, because that's not healthy either. But if you are able to look at the world around you, look at your family, look at COVID as it's affecting you, storms as they're affecting you, politics as they're affecting you, and take a realistic snapshot of where you actually are. Not what might happen, not what's happening to other people, but if you can take inventory of the actual impact that's happening in your world, then you're going to feel better. And as you feel better and aware simultaneously, you're going to be more productive, and you're going to actually be able to contribute more than just some silly, angry memes and tweets. Your mindfulness practice, your journaling, your meditating, your daily exercise, those things have never been more important. But before you do any of those, I want you to look around at the world, your world. See where you are, and then move into your mindfulness practice, and then take meaningful action. We've had 50 years where we've been told that the environment is on decline. Things feel like they're accelerating, but this message has always been there. Acting from a place of panic and fear over information that we've had decades to address is not going to help. So I want you to pause. I want you to take note of where you are. And then I want you to take meaningful, mindfulness-based, productive action. And we can solve these problems, but we can't do it if we're chickens running with our heads cut off. We can't do it from a place of fear and panic. Tune into my podcast, Vet to Vet Coaching, for specific tips on mindfulness. I'll see you there.